3. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talking in Bits, where we walk you through Bitcoin bit by bit to provide you with the information you need to possibly get rich. I'm half of the team here at Talking in Bits. Ben, what's going on, man?
What is going on?
Small little victories for us. This is episode 10, man.
Episode 10.
Congratulations. Thanks for you guys following along.
Yes,
to the
sir.
last-time listeners, first-time listeners, thanks for showing us some love.
Yeah, man. It's been fun.
Yeah, definitely, man. A learning experience for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I want to talk about NFTs. We talked about it a little bit last week, but I kind of felt last week that we were like groupies of NFT. Like we were just so excited about people getting paid all this money.
Insane amounts of money.
Right, and whenever you see insane amounts of money, it kind of spikes you up and gets your interest. So, in the week since, you've seen some weird stuff. Not weird, but more on reasons why it's not good and longevity.
Yeah.
And I want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know how these things are going to retain their value after 10 years. So when we talk about the non-digital version of this, the analog version of this, we talk about like buying a painting, right? And then that painting sits around for years and years. And it basically, builds value, inflates in value, and it holds your value and it stores your value, all that good stuff. This is the digital version of that.
Yeah.
How do I know in 10 years that my 16-bit kitty...
It's speculation. So,
I don't want to hear that, man.
We grew up on holographic Charizards.
Yeah.
And if they could have been like, hey, you're going to have one of 20 of these in a digital format on your Game Boy back when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
Would that be worth, more than what we paid for it now? Like,
right.
Pokemon is still a thing.
It is.
Cards are still selling. Like, the brand is still going.
Yeah.
I think, if anything, it'd appreciate in value.
But this is my thing. In that same example, how much would you pay for a cartridge of, like, Pokemon Red or Blue?
Well, the average, like those huge sales that we're seeing, those are super wealthy people. Those are people who woke up this year and they're like 50 million in a Bitcoin balance. Yeah. And they're just celebrating, man. It's crazy. For real. Because who's going to pay 600 grand for that 16-bit kitty?
That's my thing. And that's why I was excited about it. Yeah. And then I keep hearing that, like, there's not enough long-term data on this thing, on NFTs as a whole. Yep. But then we get into like Kings of Leon, which is a band. They're going to be the first band, I guess, officially to drop an album as an NFT. So, and I got to stop myself. Sometimes I think NFC, NFTs. But so in this situation, I think it's a great idea.
Absolutely.
On music. And we talked a little bit about it.
It gives creators power. Right. They're able to deal directly with their audience. Yeah.
See you later, labels.
Like it cuts out the middleman. Bitcoin cuts out the banks, and NFTs cut out the middlemen of the music industry. Yeah. So it's going to be exciting to see the space kind of explode. Like we talked about it before. Nipsey had created an album or mixtape, and he sold X amount of copies for a really expensive price. Right. So it's that idea, but now on blockchain.
Well, my thing is why would I go to an NFT to do it when, all right, in the same Kings of Leon example. Yep. They could go and on their website and do something like a BTC pay server and get paid for their album in Bitcoin. So am I missing what's the difference between just doing that and making an NFT? Is it that I didn't read the Rolling Stones article. I think it was a Rolling Stones article. I don't know if they're making it like they would have to make it like a certain amount, like exclusive for this to matter. Yep. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, from what I'm seeing.
Okay.
It's limited copies.
So it could be the equivalent of Drake saying, hey, I got these 20 tracks. You're only going to be able to get them
on
whatever.
The NFT.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And that's built off Ethereum, but I keep hearing people saying that it's as easy as a Bitcoin developer like doing the same thing over here. But right now it's on Ethereum. I think it's crazy. As for the future of NFTs, I just think there's not enough data. Yeah. I think you're right. I think these prices are going to eventually go away because it's going to get saturated like a lot of things. And I don't know. In that same Pokemon example, I would not go out and spend like $10K, let's say, on a cartridge of Pokemon Red or Blue. Yeah. So it didn't age well in that example. Yeah. But you're right. A Charizard, on the other hand, for some reason, I'll probably pay a little.
Commands people's wallets. Yeah. Right.
But it's just all right. Yeah, we got to get some time on this because that's the thing about there's not enough information.
There's a trader that I follow. Pokemon cards are still trading at like in a really expensive price. If you have like a premium set from back then, like this dude, I think Logan Paul was involved with some stuff recently with Pokemon. Okay. And trading like decks or whatever. But yeah, man, it's retained value. So if they get into NFTs, I'd probably buy one. Yeah. It's just depending on the price, like
depending on the price.
And then here's the thing: you can always resell. So like like Mark Cuban was saying, he was like, he created a GIF, they turned it into an NFT, and people just bought and resold. And then him as the creator, he gets royalties on that for every sale. Like, that's where the power goes to the creator.
Yeah. I do like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, if an artist comes out with a song, like, it could be sold and resold.
Yeah. Like, I guess I'm just having a hard time determining what value is because, like, I got a stack of comic books, like 150 comic books. And I asked somebody, hey, are these worth getting checked out?
Yeah.
And what a few people actually told me is you might as well just use it as, like, gift wrapping paper. Like, this is worthless. So I'm just like, what am I going to...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what value is, I guess, because I thought those were valuable. And I do know Pokemon cards are value as of what you're telling me. So... yeah, NFTs has a long way to go. It's exciting, but I think it's one of those, like, everybody's just hype about it.
Yeah.
But not enough research or info was put on that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's still cool to watch. There's some really cool art, like we've been talking about as well. Like,
yeah.
But it's still, cool stuff, it's still early, and everybody's kind of having that conversation. Like, will this be here in 10 years? Yeah, at this level.
Yeah, I agree. It just needs to prove to me that it can, like, if what I buy retains value.
Yeah.
But there's also people that buy, $2,000 sneakers, right? And then that's valuable to them, and they hold on to that. So maybe I'm just the one that's missing out. In the music industry, I agree. I think that's going to be really cool, and anything like that, like video related and stuff like that. Because if you can give me uniqueness, like something I can't get anywhere else, like imagine, this is just an easy example, but the NFL doing like a specific Super Bowl insider cam thing that you can only get like 80 of, right?
On the NFT.
That I'm really cool with. But I don't know the art thing. I'm a little bit weirded out about the art thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of Mark Cuban and getting
Kevin O'Leary.
Want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, they've become Bitcoin apologists lately. I mean, years ago, these guys are both, call you stupid if you were investing in cryptocurrency, essentially.
Literally.
And, now they're singing a different tune. They're saying, oh, yeah, Kevin O'Leary specifically, he's invested up to 3%.
Yeah.
And he's invested also in creating probably a mining farm that is run off of solar or, renewable energy.
Did he? I didn't hear
so
that. Yeah.
That's what he's hinting at online.
Really? Okay. It's funny how fast he converted, though.
Yeah.
I still think he was like on Pomp's podcast, maybe like December.
Yeah.
And he was still like, nah, man, you know, his facade, because it's a facade, right?
Yeah.
That's not who he really is in real life. But
right.
he had that Mr. Wonderful facade on Pomp's podcast, and he was just like, oh, never, Pomp, you're going to have to, I'm putting real money into something that doesn't exist. And here we are. March.
Tesla de-risked Bitcoin, right? They bought
I would argue Michael Saylor did.
Michael Saylor did.
Yeah, but yeah.
And even more so, like, everybody knows Tesla.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Mark Cuban seems to be hinting at, like, he's been talking to Peter Schiff. Have you been seeing those?
Yeah. He's Peter Schiff is he needs to pay me to follow him on Twitter. Like, he just says stuff. It's like annoying. It's like
yeah.
And these dudes like put up with him all the time.
Yeah, I think that's his character.
Probably.
Like, yeah.
I hope it is.
Yeah, he's collecting. If he's an investor and he knows anything about investing, like we talk about, right? He's probably a much better investor than I would ever be. And I have Bitcoin. If he doesn't have Bitcoin, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, he probably has some at this point, but I've seen those guys online literally every day, just going back and forth. Yeah. Like, he said something to Elon Musk, and did you see what Elon responded with? Like the
alien,
the purple pepper thing, the purple pepper emoji.
Oh, the eggplant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be the viral clip right there,
right?
The eggplant.
He didn't say any words to him.
Yeah,
he just responded with that. It was hilarious.
Yeah, and that's been going around the community, the Bitcoin community, the eggplant. Yeah, I think he that's funny. I think he definitely has some. He dabbled in, but I did meet somebody, which was a regular guy, not an investor. I was talking to somebody in the clubhouse that was in there, and he was all on like other type of coins or whatever, and he had zero. He was cool, and I was like, wow, you're just a unicorn. Like, it's very rare to bump into somebody in these rooms, at least, that doesn't have like not even a fraction, like not even a Satoshi. Right. But so those people do exist. They're not as rare as they would be. This is completely random, but when we brought up Michael Saylor, you brought up the Breedlove series last time.
Yeah.
That's my bag.
It's fire, right?
I didn't listen to, and it's my bag because I didn't know that they were going, like, Roman history is my bag. It's like, fire. I love the Stoics. I love Roman Greece. And I didn't think they were going to go there.
Yeah, bro.
So I thought it was just going to be a lot of financial talk. So I was like, yeah. And I know Breedlove is not financial.
Yeah.
Breedlove is like the hippie, right? Like, he's like that laid back, nonchalant dude. But yeah, I didn't know Michael Saylor was going to get like in the historic bag. And that's what I like to hear. I'm only on the second episode. They're pretty long. Like 2.5 hours each or something like that.
I don't even know.
Yeah, they're pretty lengthy.
I devoured that stuff. Like it's like an audiobook, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
I listen at like 1.5, 2.0 though as well.
Yeah.
So
I still can't handle that stuff.
No,
I mean, I think I do like 130, but I remember hearing yours. I can't do that. Anybody who's following, recommend. What's it called?
What is Money Podcast?
What is Money Podcast? I'm sure there's YouTube by now, right?
It's all over YouTube.
Yeah, go to YouTube, or I pulled it up on my, your favorite podcast player, or whatever. Yep. But the Breed Love series with Michael Saylor, if you want to get some that's why I like the Bitcoin Standard.
Yeah, because it's a historical look at mankind, our energy, and how we convert our energy to monetary energy.
Yeah, man.
Right. So how did they do it in the past? How did they do it, a little recently?
Yeah.
Roman times. And where are we at now? And
how that whole rant he went on about us having to get bigger, faster, stronger, like over time to be like the apex, and how the Romans used to basically they didn't make a fair environment for the people they were having wars with. They basically had leverage. Yeah. They would decimate them and literally rain hell on them, and then come in and kind of sweep up the job. Like he was like, these things are. But another thing that he just has so much knowledge. You guys got to check that out.
He's referencing like
a lot of good stuff.
Probably a handful of documentaries and 10 books.
And he's more. Like fluidly too. He's just dumping this information like stories in his little what I would call it his autistic way, right? Like he's just kind of spilling this stuff out. But when he was talking about the Navy SEALs, and I think it was like when he went to the Navy base, did you guys that part? And how like the oldest guy there was like 38 years old, and when he asked him why, is because
28.
I think the sub guy was 28, and then like the oldest guy on the boat was like 40 or whatever. And when he asked why, it was because we have to replace with new over time. And I thought that was incredible too.
Yeah.
A lot of knowledge there, and I'm not even done. What is it, 9 episodes?
I think it's 9 episodes, yeah. That's good.
That's a lot of, Check it out. Listen to it while you work. Listen to it while you work out.
While you drive, while you do whatever.
Yeah, once again, I saw Michael Saylor in that conversation, and I judged the book by the cover, and I was like, it's going to be a lot of financial talk, which is cool. It gives you another perspective.
Yeah.
But there's only so much you can say that it's a good investment.
Right.
But when you get into like, no. Let's figure out why this is a good investment. Let's figure out why we even need this, why it's important, and then let's talk about the investment. I think the viewers and the listeners are going to get a lot of that. You got a lot out of that, and it just makes me bullish. It just makes me more hungry about it. Like
after watching what you've watched from him, how would you describe Bitcoin differently?
From Saylor or Breedlove?
From like a month ago or something like.
From Saylor specifically? Or?
Yeah, like after watching the Saylor series with him or what you have.
I have a completely different... I mean, I've seen some of his CNN like stuff like that. And he does kind of try to get historical, but there's always the correspondent that'll just knock him off, like block him and be like, oh, start asking dumb questions or whatever. Yeah. This one, it was like he was allowed to banter. Like he was like, Breedlove just got out the way, dropped the question, and let him kind of go at it.
Yeah.
But I see him as a philosopher investor. Right, like this is the guy that is not in this because he's making a killing.
Yeah,
let's be honest here.
Absolutely.
So that's and he speaks on that, like why it's a good treasury reserve asset. But I liked how he said, for the colloquial, regular way of saying it, it's HODL. And then for like the CEO entrepreneur is let's put this treasury asset on our sheet or whatever. But it's the same concept as we want to buy this. And a guy that is very knowledgeable in both arenas.
He's super knowledgeable.
Dangerous guy. And not in a bad way. Dangerous. Like, he's already shown what he can do for Bitcoin, and he hasn't even stopped. I don't even think he scratched the surface yet.
Yeah, man.
So,
we're still early.
I see him different. I see him different. And not that I saw him bad to begin with, but when I think CEO, MicroStrategy, talking to CEOs, I think just a lot of numbers talk. Like in my mind, I'm just like, that's interesting. You know me. I like the philosophy of Bitcoin, the tech. But he's just knowledgeable in both arenas.
Yeah.
So you can listen to him for a while and not get bored. Like,
man.
Nuts. I can't imagine what the other 7 episodes have or whatever.
Yeah.
I did want to bring that up and back to the tech of Bitcoin and why we're so bullish on it for many reasons. Security has gotten a new uplift. I haven't read much on this, but there's an I2P, which is another anonymous layer on top of Bitcoin. That just help with you being anonymous when transacting. I think the Bitcoin core developers are really big on this, like not being able to have your identity traced back, which is, again, this is why this is needed. But this is just another way of them doing it, another layer to do that. I don't know if you've heard of CoinJoin.
No.
Yeah. CoinJoin is not a security protocol, but it's a way to kind of mesh your coins with somebody else's, but you still end up with your coins. But on the system level, like if somebody were to look at that transaction, it's just a mesh of a lot of people's Bitcoins. Hence CoinJoin. But you don't. I could be wrong on this. You don't lose any money.
Fire.
Yeah, so you could get together with, I believe, a group of people, a group of signers. Yeah. You could CoinJoin, or a service that you could CoinJoin, and they basically take care of that for you. They'll group it in a bunch of anonymous crypto, right?
Yeah.
And that sounds very basic. I'm sure this is, again, if somebody knows about this stuff, please reach out to us. Let's talk. But that's what I got from CoinJoin. That's what I got from I2P, which is a new layer. And what that just tells me is we're early, right? Just to hence that, like these guys are still working. I heard somebody say in a clubhouse earlier that they were talking Lightning specifically, but this is really cool what they were bringing this up. It gets to the point eventually where people are not going to need to learn all the intricacies of Lightning or any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because, we know we need to use a sink in a toilet, but we don't necessarily know how the plumbing works. We don't know how the water's rutted. We don't know any of that stuff, but we still use it. We know we need to use it. So I think Bitcoin is so early that right now most of the stuff is technical. But it gets to the point eventually where all this stuff would just be seamless, and the average person won't have to worry about how their Lightning transaction works.
Yeah. And again, when Apple eventually gives you your phone with a Bitcoin wallet,
they'll make it easy.
Them or someone like them is going to make Lightning easy. You know what I mean? Like eventually it'll all get easier.
Jack Mahler's, like what he's doing with Lightning.
Doing that with Strike.
On the background. And that's only possible because of Lightning and, the Bitcoin network.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. As soon as these companies, I think that that Jack Dorsey, was it the Square Bank opened up?
Yeah.
I think they're going to incorporate Lightning.
Probably.
I think I hinted in one of the episodes before where I don't know if business-wise he would want to crush a Strike and like kind of take their business plan. But I think it's only a matter of time. I mean,
you're going to have competition.
And you're going to be able to do the Twitter thing where you could like pay people to Twitter. I don't know about you. Before we go forward, I haven't met a person that I would pay for their tweets.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that the information now can't change and adapt to make me enticed more. But if you tell me right now, if anybody charges me like whatever, $1, whatever, I'm probably not going to do it.
Yeah.
But that's why I think Square is going to open up Lightning, because how are you going to handle all these dollar transactions?
Yeah.
All these small transactions. Or is it going to be like a minimum? You can only sign up, follow the person for like.
Yeah.
And I think if they open Lightning up, do what Jack Mahler's is doing, which is basically convert dollars and Bitcoin in the background.
Yeah.
You'll be able to, let's say, I'll be able to give you 15 cents or give you whatever, like a heart is
tip.
worth.
Got you.
Yeah, a tip. Right. Good point. Give you a tip, and then Twitter as a company, but Square as the backing company that's handling that can do that a lot easier than just having to transfer $1 or 15 cents. You know how expensive that's going to be on a banking level?
Yeah.
So that's why I think they won't do Jack Mahler's style of app.
Yep.
But it's only a matter of time before Cash App and Apple, like you said.
These guys are.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're not thinking about it now or talking about it now, they're going to be very soon.
They should.
We're seeing banks, again, change their stance on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
People are opening up, I think it's JP Morgan, and Citibank.
Yep.
A handful of them are talking about opening up basically over-the-counter trading again. Yeah, so...
Citibank's papers, did you see that one?
Yeah,
I didn't read the papers.
Citibank's paper, I saw some highlights on there.
Yeah, basically
everybody has good things to say. This might be the future of international transactions.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's just echoing to these guys, big CEOs that are not in yet. Like it's the dominoes are falling for sure.
Yeah.
I think the big domino, you're right. Whether it's Apple, I hope it's not. I hope it's like a smaller Bitcoin company or whatever. But when they figure out how to like basically, allow me to do these things without knowing what, like, I don't even care what it is. Most people don't even know how their bank works.
Right.
Most people don't even work how their bank app works, right? So if they can just handle Lightning payments and Bitcoin payments in the background and just let me push a button like Cash App, that company...
Gonna do well.
Yeah. That's when the consumers are going to start coming in. But I like that the core guys work on security a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they work overall. I'm not going to try to limit what they do to the network, but Taproot is another one. I don't know much about Taproot, but I know that's another security protocol level for anonymous transactions. And I think that's already been approved, like by the developers. Like that's coming soon when the nodes get consensus and stuff like that. So really cool stuff happening there, man.
Absolutely.
So we wanted to get into two-factor.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What is that?
But 2FA is basically just a second verification. that's usually tied to a specific device, whether it's your phone or your laptop, that you determine from the beginning. And it's just, if you want to do a vault, it's a vault over your vault, if that makes sense. So in theory, you're the only one that can get the codes.
Yep.
Google has the most common one, but I think there's a few other ones out there.
Yep.
And it's usually just a second verification. I think the simplest way is, hey, do you want us to send you a text?
Yeah.
Like, that's like the old school way, or like, hey, and it's still around. Do you want us to, we send an email with a number, you know? But a lot of the crypto apps use Google's.
Yeah, authenticator.
Yeah. And it's important. I mean, we're talking about security. We're talking about your future. We're talking about your Bitcoins. We talk about the fact that you are your own bank, right? So these things are important to keep up with. Even if you don't want to read the white papers and do all that stuff on this stuff, it's still important because, you know, the more you know, like Michael Saylor's stories, the more you feel safe and secure, the more you trust that your investment is actually going to lead to future wealth, right? And not just a Ponzi scheme or something like that in that sense. So, You got 2FA, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so I have it. I just want to break that down. Like, it's good to enable that if you try to log into, say, your Coinbase account, or I don't know if Cash App has it.
Kraken has it.
Was Kraken?
Kraken has it, yep.
Yeah, so when you go to open that app, it's going to ask you for your 2FA code. Yep. You then load up your authenticator. I use Google. Load that up, and then it gives you basically a passcode on your phone that you enter to get into the site. So even if someone was able to hack your, say, email and password, they still need that 2FA to access your account.
Right. It's only tied to one device.
Yeah. Yeah. So what happens if you lose that device?
You just have to set up for a new, like, do the QR code thing again with the new device.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you lose your phone, or you just upgrade your phone, just load up Google again, go to your BlockFi account or wherever it is you're going to go in, snap a picture, do it all over again, and you get a new link.
Reset. Okay,
yeah.
I was thinking about that recently.
I think if you get SIM swapped, though, it's still, like, they can actually get that. I could be wrong on that, because I think it's device and not phone specific. But a lot of people still keep saying SIM swaps is like a big thing. Like, people getting beat with SIM swaps. I have T-Mobile, and I called T-Mobile, and I was like, hey, this can I make sure that, like, anything that changes on this account, I have to actually go to the store and give my license for?
Yeah.
And they did that. Now they're going to honor that. We're about to,
this guy
hopefully
has a silly note in his account. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
we're going to ignore this.
Who do you think he is?
Yeah. So I read that on Reddit somewhere where somebody was like, listen, you can activate these type of security protocols. And then if somebody were to call to try to swap your SIM card to their device, then they can't, because they would just say, hey, go down to a store and show your license. You know. So that makes me feel a little better. But we talk about it all the time. Paranoid and Bitcoin is huge.
Absolutely.
The whole thing is built on being anonymous. It's cryptographic. So guys, these are small things you can do. Do the 2FA on all your apps. Any that allow it, whether it's the basic, we'll send you a text message, or whether it's this one that Ben's talking about, where you get the number right there on the app. It slows you down a little bit. Like, you got to switch over to the app and get the number, but it doesn't kill you. Yeah. And it keeps you secure. As of now, that's the best thing you got, right? Yeah. When it comes to apps, I don't think there's anything better.
Yeah, no. There's obviously Google Authenticator, and then I know you can do, I think, with LastPass. And I know we've talked about that, and there might be a few others, but it's just, again, an easy way to add an extra layer of protection.
Double secure, Because passwords are probably the worst thing.
Yeah. Yeah, yours got hacked recently, man.
Yeah, my eBay did. Yeah, I don't use eBay, y'all, so this ain't a sponsor opportunity for eBay. But long story short, I got a message saying that I put up an iPad. I don't own an iPad for like $600 in Europe, and that the person was waiting.
There we go.
The person was waiting for their payment. And I was like, no, that's not me. eBay was good about it.
Which is good.
They changed my password, and I don't think I'm liable for any of that stuff.
Yeah,
obviously.
No, not at all.
But I know I don't have 2FA on eBay. I should.
Yeah, I don't have it on eBay, but crypto.
Everything bank account related, crypto related, do that. I do like Face ID on the iPhone. I think I saw during their conferences a little bit how the security of the Face ID works. Yeah. It's basically a key on the device that says green light, and it shoots it off, encrypted to basically get that information. So. If you got like some of my crypto apps have, the Face ID or whatever, that's just about as good. Some of them have them both. I think BlockFi, I got to do the Face ID and the 2FA. Yeah. So more security, guys. Remember, this is your money. You're the bank. My argument, and I'm sure you agree, is don't trust the bank anyways. Because they're not really keeping your money secure. But, you know, we're big on security here on this show, so keep that stuff safe. So let's transition into the Bitcoin community and how they treat shitcoins. Yeah. Shitcoins are?
Coins that aren't Bitcoin.
I was expecting something more, but that's
like that's what it is.
How you feel about it? You don't feel too happy about that. And then we'll give the examples that we saw.
Yeah. Personally, like I like Chainlink. There's a lot of like financial.
Yeah, put me on that.
Yeah,
I don't think about Chainlink.
Yeah. There's a lot of like financial development going on with it. Banks seem to be interested in it. I know Grayscale was investing in it. I think they have it in a trust. So there's just a lot of hype around it. Is it going to perform well? I don't know. I mean, it's up. You know, last March it was $3. Now it's $30. So I've been buying since. So yeah, that's one of like my biggest holdings. But these people would call them shitcoins. And so like, you know, on Twitter there's the back and forth of, you know, it's almost like Bitcoin purists, and then there's crypto folks who kind of do both, and it's weird. And then like, you know, if you're going to talk sideways, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might see me in Miami at Blockchain Miami, you know, at the event. Like I might bump into you in person. You know what I mean? Like don't talk sideways. It's going to be internet.
Awkward. Yeah. I haven't gotten nobody to talk sideways, but I just buy Bitcoin. But I also don't shit on shitcoins.
Yeah.
I just think there's been a lot of petty stuff. You know, I keep bringing up Clubhouse because I spend a lot of time in these rooms. They're fun rooms for the most part. So
what are the best rooms as well?
The Bitcoin rooms, right? So if you go to Swamp Bitcoin, they actually run Cafe Bitcoin, which is like, and they have a bunch of rooms in there, all different countries. That's usually the one I'm in. Bitcoin's and a few Lamar and a few other folks run the Black Bitcoin Billionaires. Mm-hmm. That's a really good group to get information there. They seem to be the most welcoming of new people. And the ones that are willing to answer newbie questions over and over and over again.
Because they really care.
Right. I've literally sat there and listened. This is no knock to a specific Cafe Bitcoin room because there's a lot of different ones. Mm-hmm. But I've gone into rooms where, like, you know, the guys, they're pretty much there every day. And then I think they've gotten to the point where they don't feel they should be answering these questions for people.
Yeah.
I've heard like a lot of people get like literally pushed to the audience. Like, hey, listen, man, we already answered that question a little while ago. Mm-hmm. That person may have not been in the room a little while ago.
Right.
And all you could really say is, hey, man, here's a link. Right, and you could go check out. Or
hey, go to Swan Bitcoin, type that in.
Oh, well,
be helpful.
I will add, because we're fans of Swan Bitcoin. Yeah. These groups are not necessarily run by Swan Bitcoin employees.
Gotcha.
Like they collaborate with Corey, I believe, and then they could get rooms where they could talk. Yeah. And they're popular. Bitcoin scene is always in there. There's a bunch of people that are always in those rooms. So I don't want this to seem like they're all bad, but yeah, there's those rooms where, you know, they just don't have the same attitude towards new people. Yeah. And some people are trying to invest, trying to get this information. And I'm disappointed in that shitcoin questions literally can't get brought up. Yeah. And I that's very cultish. I mean, it's just, and a lot of the people are not even asking them if they should invest in shitcoins, quote unquote. Mm. They're just asking relation to Bitcoin to their specific coin, whether it's Ether, whether it's whatever. And the dudes are still jumping all over them. Yeah. Get out of here with that stuff or whatever. Shame on the community. Well, at least those few. I don't think that's a whole thing. But I have seen this shitcoin problem. I don't buy any of the other coins, but I wouldn't trash anybody who buys the other coin.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Everybody has their own strategy. So like if I know a non-Bitcoin coin is going to do well in the next few months, I'm going to take advantage of it. And then I'm going to cash out and buy more Bitcoin. Yeah. You know what I mean? Take profits. So yeah, I have no problem with it.
Now, do you think the argument for them is, because I've heard a few, do you think the argument for them is that they just want people to keep putting their money in Bitcoin? Or do you think their argument is a technological argument? Like, yo, that's just trash technology.
I think they really think it's trash.
Yeah. Because I've heard a lot of smart dudes.
Yeah, no, I think they literally think it's trash. I mean, we talked about that story where...
So are they right?
There was a top 100 cryptocurrency, and someone stole everybody's coin of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think they really think it's trash.
Yeah.
And a waste of money.
Do you think they're right?
Again, Chainlink and other coins, like, they have real world access and like capabilities to like solve real problems.
Yeah.
So like, obviously there's going to be Bitcoin and then there's going to be Strike. Do you think Strike eventually makes their own coin? The way an exchange makes their coin, like the Binance coin?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard like a lot of the Bitcoin developers in these rooms as well, basically just lay it out. Like, yo, it's not because XYZ, right?
Yeah.
It's because this is not a workable system. It's not a functional system.
Right.
And to me, I'm under the belief that these coins do have real world use, and there can't just be one technology. There can be many technologies, right? But I also understand when a technology is flawed, it will let a lot of people down. Like there'll be this one situation where it just falls apart completely, and that becomes a problem. So I've chosen at the moment to not invest in any other coins. But just like my Bitcoin enthusiasm, it's because of a technology level. I need these things to prove themselves. I need these things to give me the comfort, the security that my Bitcoin does. Now, if income increases or if things change and I got a little extra change to spend, I agree with you. I agree you should maximize these things. You should scrape off of them. Matter of fact, I made a few $100s scraping Ethereum earlier a few months ago. And they all went into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So it definitely has its use case. But I think some of these guys are just like, if they buy, my value goes up. Stop spending your money on the other coins. Keep putting it in Bitcoin. Some of these guys. I'm not saying that's the philosophy.
Yeah, maybe.
And I've just heard some weird. I hope that changes. I don't know. I don't know why the Black Bitcoin billionaires room is different, but you're right. It just seems like they care about onboarding people to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And those clubhouse rooms on the Cafe Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It just gotta like make it clear in the headline, like no newbies allowed. Or something, right? Like just because you could change the headline title at any the room title. So be specific if you don't want the questions.
Yeah.
Some of them say lightning specific. We're talking about some of the Bitcoin core developers talk about the tech.
Yeah.
But I've seen some nasty dudes. I've seen dudes arguing back and forth. I don't ask that stuff. Get out of here with your shitcoin terminology and all. And I'm just like, I leave those rooms. Yeah, man. You just lost on that one. That's not what we're here for. But yeah, if y'all listening, the attitude in the Bitcoin community, if you're new to Bitcoin, just go find somewhere else. You'll get information, whether it's this podcast, wherever you go. And if you're, experienced in Bitcoin, have patience for the new people. You were new at 1.2.
Right.
And investment requires a lot of trust. And for a lot of us growing up, trust was not a thing, right? And if you can't trust, you can't invest because a lot of it's a gamble. It is a gamble completely by definition. So, some of these people just need to get warmed up. People just need to understand what it is. And some take longer than others to figure out what that is. I still got people telling me that they have no interest in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, bro.
I'll be here telling you the price every time.
I've seen people on my timeline. Some like, stop trying to sell me Bitcoin.
Really?
And I haven't seen that. Okay. I know for what reason. I don't know.
Like directed to you, or you just snooped in? No. Okay. I was like,
yeah,
geez.
no.
A little animosity.
No, on their own wall. They said they took like a few calls from friends, and
I wouldn't be calling people.
Yeah.
I don't know why your friends are calling you. Listen,
I'll send you a link.
Yeah, I get no benefit if y'all buy Bitcoin or not.
Yeah,
there's the arguments that we made more from me. Right. I mean, what do you want me to say? But I do think that if people inform themselves. Yeah. This is life changing, right? This is one of those things.
I mean, compare Bitcoin returns to gold.
Yeah.
Right. Stock market, NASDAQ, S&P, like real estate market, it outperforms.
Did you see that they found? I forgot. Somewhere in Africa,
they found like gold. I saw the video. Bro.
It was
wild, bro.
It was wild, but they weren't beefing though. Everybody was kind of
not yet. Damn, they was like. That was intense.
So that goes back to the argument.
Yeah.
It's technically unlimited amount of gold.
Yeah.
I mean, you keep finding this stuff. I seen somebody comment that's from that area that was like, listen, our mountains are filled with diamonds and gold. So it's like, this is the most valuable land, right? Like around. So when we talk about scarcity and we talk about these things that, if there's only a fixed amount, it makes it, more, valuable if you own a piece of it, land, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So the argument for the gold guys, if I could keep finding this stuff, and we talked about it before, even if like asteroids or like, small pieces of meteors land and there's minerals on that.
Gold isn't soaring right now, and it has a $9 trillion head start against Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You follow me? Right? Because it has a bigger market cap.
Right.
When Bitcoin, it's 10 or 10, 11, right in that range.
Yep.
When Bitcoin gets to 10 trillion, and everybody with gold starts jumping ship,
yeah, gonna go nuts.
It's gonna come down.
You trust the math, right? Like that's the thing.
That's
like,
what I'm looking at.
Yeah, like we're gonna run out of Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's mining. Like it'll mine past our lifetime. Like new Bitcoin will be created.
Yeah, sure, yeah. But this
it's still scarce.
I saw this number earlier, and I could get them off, but I think I'm close. 900 Bitcoins are mined a year right now at the moment. That rate will continue to drop as the math continues to go up, right? And these companies are buying like $2,000 at a time, so they're sweeping up the year supply and then the previous year supply. If that makes any sense, because just because there's only 900 doesn't mean there's 900 in existence.
Is it 9,000?
I think it's 900, dude.
Is it
900 whole coins? Yeah, and I could be wrong on the math, but either way, the point that I'm trying to make is that these CEOs now are buying more than the year supply that can be mined. Mm-hmm. So it's just going to bottleneck everything, and it's going to make it really.
Yeah, I think Grayscale had bought the majority of the Litecoin that was created like last month.
Do you know if Litecoin has a end cap?
Don't know. I don't think so.
That's important to me.
But even still, these institutions are buying big amounts of coins.
Back to Kevin O'Leary, I think he bought some ETH too, right?
I think so. Yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah. And every time these big guys do that, it kind of affirms like my position. Like I'm going to hold some Ethereum. Hold more Bitcoin, and I'll dabble in altcoins. But
yeah. I think my stake on it is, like I told you before, I'm okay with being late on it.
Yeah,
that's okay with me because it's the financial gain. Like I'm not in a rush to get more fiat if it's gonna melt.
Right.
But yeah, once I start learning more about Ethereum, I know it's gonna be big with these NFTs.
Yeah.
I keep hearing. I haven't seen a good example of it, but I keep hearing in the video game industry is gonna be big. And all that smart contract stuff is gonna be good, but they got to get those gas prices down because, like I said last week, the number one thing people look for when transacting is fees. Mm-hmm. Look, I'm not trying to lose half my money to
fees
to send, Ben something or whatever real quick. That's not going to work. So, like all tech, it could be built, it could be improved. But, to me, just to use the term shitcoin, to me, it stays in that category because although it has real world usage, that's not solving real world problems.
Yeah.
And when you solve the financial problem, like Bitcoin has, there's only so many of those problems in a lifetime that anybody can ever solve.
Right.
Ethereum is basically like the new PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Like it's new technology that's doing something dope.
Yeah. They just rolled it out.
Right. But they'll update it and there'll be newer versions of it. We've already seen that 2.0.
Yep.
So invest in that, but in my opinion, not with the same vigor that you would invest in sovereignty, right, of Bitcoin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for the whole, and we'll probably get killed for this, but as a whole community, you don't have to crash on shit coins like that.
Yeah.
Like let people do what they do. Yeah. Like it doesn't. More for you, more for us, more for the people that really believe in it and all that. But I think some of them just really just want to see that price spike.
Yeah.
And they fear that if these markets are sucking up a lot of the money,
capital.
It makes it.
I mean, again, like institutions aren't buying altcoins. Some are.
I like altcoins. Altcoins better than shitcoins.
That's what I call them, right?
That's actually the official name.
Yeah, that's the official term.
Yeah.
But again, like most institutions aren't buying Ethereum and all these other things.
Yeah.
Some are, but most are just buying Bitcoin.
Right.
And so I think there's over 45 big institutions that have now bought into it.
Yep.
And as they continue to, like obviously the price just goes up. So
I also heard I keep bashing on him, but Ethereum too, the owner or the founder, the Vitalik or whatever.
Yep.
I don't know how true this is, but I guess he mined like a boatload of coins that he kept for himself before.
Big.
Whatever. So that's not bad. I mean, you're the owner, you're the founder. You should. But when we talk about fiat and we talk about the fact that you could keep printing them, there's no end cap to Ethereum, right? And this is not solving the money problem, so I'm not trying to relate that. But there's a problem when you can just make as many as you want on things, not just fiat. So that problem, and you kind of gave yourself like the head start. That's like if Satoshi existed and was like, I'm gonna take half of this first, and then y'all can have the rest.
I'm gonna take the first 2 million coins. Y'all got 19.
Yeah, I worry about Ethereum, not because it can't solve problems and not because the technology won't get better, but because these networks are a lot of marketing. These networks are a lot of trust. And when you start hearing stuff like this about the founders, like imagine hearing every time you deposited some money into PayPal, Elon Musk was scraping 10% off of it.
Yeah.
Not the fees, like on top of that.
Yeah.
You would immediately just not trust PayPal. You would not trust the network. You wouldn't even do business there.
Right.
So imagine knowing that the guy who created this, this whole network is basically is already like a huge head start. Like he's a billionaire just off of your expense.
Right.
It doesn't mean don't invest. It just means I have a different view on it at least.
Yeah.
Like that. But I like research. I like verifying. And trusting.
Right.
I don't know if these stories are true, so I recommend everybody just that's the term in Bitcoin, right? Don't trust, verify.
Yeah.
Verify your information. Go do your own research. Don't let nobody call it a shitcoin and you give up on it.
Yeah.
If I have any advice, I'm sure you would agree.
Mm-hmm.
Go research what the coin does.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and invest that way.
Yeah. I mean, like Shaquille O'Neal talks about when he started investing, like Jeff Bezos, and it was the whole like believe in what you invest in. You know what I mean?
It's a comfortable investment.
Yeah. Do that. Research what it is. Don't just buy it.
Yeah.
So
just like you would research a stock.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. I know a lot of people that do stocks and are still like skeptical about crypto, and I'm like, well, just do the same thing. Research the tech. Research what it is, and just put some money on it. Like, it doesn't have to be different. I'm just passionate about the philosophy, right? I'm passionate about that whole feeling of it. But want to make some money? Go make some money.
Right.
Like, it's just. I would put money in crypto more faster than I would put even in Apple stock, even in Tesla stock. I would put my money. Not a financial advisor.
Yeah.
I would put my money on crypto 1,000%. Ethereum, everything over going in the stock market. But the thing with me is I don't dabble in the stock market.
Yeah.
So I'm going gung ho on Bitcoin, at least for the time being. I do like Ethereum and what it's doing.
Yeah.
For sure. I'll be late to that party. It's all good.
Yeah. Same here. I mean, I'm holding some, but I'm not like
crazy about it. You just gotta be careful. That's more speculation. I think Bitcoin has already passed the point.
Bitcoin's proven.
Yeah, it's already passed the point where it's been prodded, it's been tested. So, but I always like to think this. The beginning of Bitcoin, there were people saying the same thing they were saying about these coins.
Sure.
So don't give up on these coins. Just follow the research, follow the industry. I can't say NFTs enough in this conversation. It's probably like 100 times already, but NFTs is really dope, really big, and that is running on a Bitcoin network, on Ethereum network. So it's good to check it out, even though this is a Bitcoin podcast.
And why is it running on Ethereum?
Our contracts?
Gotcha.
So,
yeah.
Can't say it's blockchain, but there's like a version of it coming on Bitcoin. I can see it happening.
Yeah.
But I guess you submit the work, it gets tokenized, and then after tokenized, one more process happens after this, and then that's what makes it valuable. That second step.
Yeah.
But you can't do the second step without the first step. I was reading something about the NFTs earlier. It's cool stuff, but if I'm gonna pay $60,000 for something, like if I go and buy like a rare painting, I know it's rare, so I know my value there. I don't know how you can justify a lot of this stuff that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Besides hype.
16-bit cats, 16-bit people.
And I know rich people live a different lifestyle. I mean, but damn it.
Is that the equivalent of like the Bitcoin filthy rich people? Like they'll keep that value up there?
On what?
Among themselves. Like the Bitcoin, the dudes who have 100 million plus in Bitcoin right now, are they just going to keep their wealth in those things for the next forever?
And NFTs?
And NFTs, like the 16-bit NFTs that they call it. Like, are these the new Mona Lisas for the ultra rich of this new generation?
Some of them we've seen. I don't know about a 16-bit cat though.
I know, but it's almost like a flex. Like I'm so rich, I'll pay $500,000 for a 16-bit cat because, you know what I mean? Like, forget y'all. Like, I'm filthy rich.
It's just to spend money on.
It's a super flex, man.
Yeah, I know.
You know
a 16-bit cat. All right, so check this out, right? You and I, we have over $100 million in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right? I walk up to you and be like, yo, bro.
Yeah.
Check out what I bought last night. And I turn my phone around.
Yeah.
And you see a 16-bit cat.
And you say you spent $500 for it.
You hyped?
I mean, it depends how you view your money. You know what I mean? Like, what's $500K to $100 million?
No, obviously.
What's the percentage?
Obviously, if I bought it, I'm hyped. Are you hyped though?
Oh, I'm hyped for you.
No.
Yeah. Why not?
Because you're going to look at me like, dude, why? I would.
I mean, at that point, I already know why. Because of what I just said. Like, I'm going to buy this 16-bit cat for $500. And it's going to hold its value because the new wave of filthy rich Bitcoiners.
I gotta ask somebody in these rooms. Yeah. Why does it hold this value? I guess that's what I gotta ask somebody. Is it because it's scarce?
I think it's just a flex, man. It's scarce and it's a flex.
Yeah, like what makes the blockchain give it value? Because I think that's the step. What tokenizing it? I guess is what they're saying. What makes that so valuable of a process? Is it sort of like Sailor gets out with Bitcoin, where it's like stored energy and all that stuff? Is that the concept or? And kudos to the creators. I mean, I consider us creators. So, I want these avenues where we get rid of the labels and we get rid of the networks and social medias and all that stuff.
Yeah. What's the most expensive one you've seen?
seen a few million ones going up.
Yeah.
I can't remember the actual like picture itself. There's a few one that is like avatars like walking through rooms. Have you seen that? I've seen a few of those versions.
Fire.
I saw the one you sent me original, but I saw a few different ones too. It was like in a video game world. The guy was walking like it was a forest. It was different. But how does that retain value? Like, I could cut that up on the video real quick and send that to you.
I know.
What makes it value?
The memes on Twitter are like, it's like a screenshotted picture of an NFT, and it's like, ooh, look what I got for free.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Somebody has to explain to me why that's valuable.
Yeah.
What's up with we didn't bring them up, but the Top Shots.
Yeah. What are they doing with they've done like 230 million in sales. And I think
highlights?
I believe so. And someone had tweeted that the like withdrawal limit is like $1,000 a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
you have to do, I'm assuming you have to do the transaction on their
I think it's on their network.
And then you can't cash out?
And then you're trapped in their network if you're trying to take your money out.
Oh, so if you're a creator.
From my understanding.
You can't cash. I was thinking about the buyer's end, but from the creator's end.
Yeah.
If you just made $500K.
It didn't get into the specifics. It just generally said a withdrawal limit of $1,000 per day. So they have to obviously address that if they're doing millions and millions of sales.
How long will it take you to cash out $500K?
Too long, bro.
500 days, right? 1,000?
Too long.
Yeah. Wow. It's gonna take like 2 years.
It's gonna feel like 2 years.
Yeah. No, bad idea.
I mean, 50 days would only be 50 grand.
That's what I mean. So it'd be like 500 days, right?
Get out of here.
So that's like 2.5 years.
That's crazy.
And I'm assuming they're flipping that in the background and maybe like lending it and getting some type of ridiculous. That's
and then they'll try to tax you on the profits.
Do you know if that's just them or like the whole NFT space?
I don't know. I think it's just the NBA Top Shot. I haven't heard. I think on the NFT space, it's direct to your wallet.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So when you sign up at a spot, you probably have to enter your wallet, and then if you sell something, you get paid out.
I think you pay the quote unquote gas up front. Tokenized.
Yep.
I think you have to pay that transaction up front.
Yep.
Whatever it may be. I didn't really hear it, but I was listening to a few guys talk about it. Got to prove it tough, man.
Yeah.
Something really cool that I think you saw that I bumped into on Twitter. The solar panel thing. Did you see that?
Yeah. Talk about that. What was that about?
I did a little bit of research on their website. So I guess they had a lot of third world countries and stuff like that, and I think Africa was a highlight there. But basically, a school in Africa wants to take advantage of solar energy, sort of like Fundrise. So you pitch in. You own like a little piece of the panel or as much money as you put in panels, and they get cheaper energy and cleaner energy, and then they pay you out in your wallet.
Fire.
I'm like super interested.
Yo, what are the returns on that?
I don't know because the only person I saw post it had it blocked out, but they pay out monthly. And I went on their website and there was a project in Africa, and I did. I'm still having a hard time reading like the long Bitcoin 0.00. I'm getting better at it because I think it's just 1 decimal point away from a Satoshi. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I try to convert it and bring it into like Google or whatever to see how much it would be.
Yeah.
I think in this specific project, it was like $8.
Gotcha.
Like $8 to buy a small panel, I'm assuming, or maybe like a piece of a panel.
Mm.
So what if I put $150 here? Like, what's my return looking like?
Yeah.
So I am going to try to reach out to them and see. Not only do I think it's a fantastic cause, so it's it's sort of like a philanthropy if you think about it.
That's fire. You're helping people get
clean electricity.
And
getting rewarded in Bitcoin.
Right.
Yeah. That's super impressive. So I checked them out.
Man.
Let's put that link in the show note. As a matter of fact, let me pull this up so we could even give the listeners a way to go because good cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm interested in doing that. And that's just how cool this stuff is going, man. Like there's a lot of projects like this. There's a lot of good ways to make Bitcoin work for you.
Yeah. That's one way. Yeah. Yeah, even so for people who don't know what Fundrise is, it's a way for you to invest in real estate with smaller amounts of money. So you could put in a few grand and they'll pick up a new project. Say they're working on, some new apartment complex or some new, probably like shared housing projects. I think they do condominiums.
Parking lots.
Yeah, parking lots. They're doing all kinds of stuff. So whatever money you invest, they take it and then they use it in their like individual investments, and then collectively you'll get a return. So it allows you to passively invest in real estate and be exposed to the real estate market without taking on much of the risk.
Yeah. As
like a project manager or a flipper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I put a little bit of money in it before I got up to like 3K. It's like 8% and up. It's like 8 to 12% return. Yeah. It is a really cool service. But I bought Bitcoin.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah. I cashed out of that. And I will say that they made it a little tricky to get it back.
Yeah.
They made it with like a quarter or something like that. Like they pay out at the end of the quarter or something like that.
Yeah.
So I waited a while, but there was no catch after that. I got the money sent to my bank account. I think it's a great service if you're just going to forget about it. And if you believe in the real estate game. I did try it. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
By the way, the Twitter handle is the Sun Exchange. I'm assuming that's the name of the company. So go Google that. And their little ID here is offset your carbon footprint, selling solar energy to the world.
Cool.
So you know how Fundrise kind of presents you with projects? Like, hey, in LA, we're doing this thing.
Yeah.
So same thing. You go on their website and it's like, hey, this school in Africa is looking to get funded to do this or whatever. And then that's when it tells you like an amount you can put in.
Yeah.
And that's where I got the $8 from, if the converter was right.
Yeah.
And I'm super interested. I'll put easy a few hundred in there just to see what it's like.
Yeah. I'm going to search that on Twitter and see what people are saying.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that it depends how much you put in, you get at, right? Like how much solar energy.
We about to finance a whole school.
Listen, I'm about to do anything they need, the whole city. Because I mean, you pay it once and it returns.
Yeah.
So I just need to know what the splits is like.
Right.
Maybe I've read Bitcoin Chris. Shout out to Bitcoin Chris. I see him in some of the clubhouse rooms. Bitcoin Chris was the one that put us on. So I'll probably reach out to him in the DM and see if he can give me more info.
Yeah.
He did tell me that he was with them since 2019.
Okay.
So yeah, they're not new per se. All he posted was his email, his monthly email that says, "Hey, thank you. Here's your return or whatever." Had a wallet address and it had the Bitcoin that he had, and
sweet.
It was good. That was pretty dope. So
yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, I'm interested in doing that too. Anything else for the people, man?
I think that's good, man.
We're about 52 minutes in.
Bitcoin's. I mean, if we want to talk price, we're
please.
Floating above 50 grand, 49. We dropped down to 45 range.
Yeah.
Michael Saylor picked up another large amount of Bitcoin.
I'll let him buy y'all Bitcoin.
I mean, he got a better price with his buying strategy than Square did when they bought 170 million.
Like and he got more capital to play with.
Square bought at 170 million.
Yeah.
But they bought in at like 51.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty much where we are today, gaining support. And then obviously we'll retest 58,000 and eventually move into the 60 range.
Fast.
Governments Business Insider is talking about everything is going to be more expensive and it's going to be a good thing. And it's like your wages aren't going to go up.
Yeah.
But everything else is going to get more expensive.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin is the hedge against that. So
taxation is theft.
And taxation is theft. It's crazy.
Literally stealing our money out of our pockets.
Speaking of taxes, let's talk quickly about taxes.
Sure, dude.
Forbes released an article that said basically if you have bought Bitcoin and you haven't sold, you don't have to report crypto earnings or anything on your taxes. So we need to find someone who has like a CPA so we can get them on to talk crypto and taxes.
That's a really good idea,
because everybody's talking about this. And yeah, so we'll work on that.
I think the only thing I know is that as long as you don't exchange it for fiat.
Yep. Yeah, you're good.
You should be good.
Yeah.
Wallet to wallet.
Again, if you really needed a loan, there are services that will loan you cash.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad we brought this up. So correct me if I'm wrong on this though. We talk about scraping, altcoins into Bitcoin. I think that's a taxable event though.
What?
Converting is a taxable event.
From what I've seen, yeah.
So if it's address to address, same asset, not a taxable event. But one asset transferred to a different asset, I believe, is.
Like to a different exchange?
No, just a different asset.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like when we scrape, right? We're going to scrape into Bitcoin.
Yep.
We're turning one asset into a different asset. I think that's a taxable event.
Yeah.
But we should get a CPA. That's really
we should
good
get a CPA just to walk through it.
Hey, if y'all watching CPAs, plug them in.
But let's talk about it.
Episode 10 in the books, man.
Episode 10, man.
Appreciate it, man. We're going to keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Guys, let us know any information you want to know. Rate, share, and subscribe to shows so people can watch, people can listen. This is valuable information that could possibly change your life. As always, we appreciate y'all. See y'all next week.
Peace.
Later.